Hey, my amazing people. So, today we are going to talk about social dancing. Whether you're learning salsa, bachata, kizomba, tango, zouk, or any one of this in the list, I'm going to give you 9 tips which are going to be applicable to any form of social dancing, and it's going to make your learning process way faster. So, let's get into it. Okay, so the first one is gonna be very obvious one because it is the basic. It sounds very basic, but believe me, the basic is the most strongest fundamental you're gonna need for any of the social dances. Whether it's 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, depending on what is the pattern. Okay, you'll have to get to the basic because that's the common the base of language that you're learning, which you're going to communicate with each other. Yeah, and over here when I'm talking about language, I mean the styles. So it's another metaphor to understand it as a language, because that's how we are communicating, through the way of those styles. Okay, and that's why to get the basic really right, and it's very easy actually. Usually you can get it in 1, 2, or very like slow, maybe 3, 4 weeks. But how will you get that so good? That's come to the second point, which is home practice. Exactly. So if you're only going to the studio or to the teacher to learn, yeah, over there you're not getting like enough practice to make it your default, like a computer default program where you don't have to think about it much. And the basics are very easy. It doesn't need so much of technique. Literally, the saying, which is like, if you can walk, you can dance, is completely true in social dancing. And that's why the home practice is gonna be very important. A tip for the home practice: see, at home when you're cooking or you're doing some things, or some slow, just play some music at the background and just keep on grooving and moving to it. What will happen? Not only you're getting a simple practice, you're not actually have to take out always time to practice with that. At the same time, you're getting into the groove, the feel of how that style of those musics are, yeah, which will help you later to grab way faster and faster. So this is like physical with metaphysical, which is going to help you. Now, continuing this, second point comes to the third point, which is like walk, like you have to move like you walk. Okay, so make your movement in the basic. Your third step is to make it smooth, that you move freely. Yeah, the third point is move freely. So move like you're walking. So you should not move like you are a robot. Yeah. So your aim is to really make it like you're walking. So you walk in a normal speed, right? Kind of a rhythm, right? You don't walk like ha 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 ha. So normally this is the most mistake we do when we are learning as a beginner, because we are scared, we are nervous, we are like, okay, we are gonna make mistakes. So what we do, we restrict ourselves, and we even like start moving how we don't move when we move generally in life. So your aim is to bring the general movement, because the basic movements and the normal first movements are very general. Yeah, it's very like we all can do it. For any kind of people from any genre should be able to do it. That's why social dancing. So make it very free moving. Your teacher will help you if you will ask them, how can you make your movements more free, and go with. Now, continuing from this third point, we'll go to the next point, which is about tempo. So another tip for you is that like how you'll be practicing with the music, as I said, playing the music, which will give you the feel. You can simply just sometime like when I'm teaching the many of the beginners and basic, they feel like, oh my god, I don't understand the music, I don't understand the rhythm. So even if to say them to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, it becomes hard for them, right? So if you're one of them, your easy tip will be like that. Go to the play a metronome. So you can go to some website, you can go to the Google or something like that, and just play some metronome. Yeah, and what you do, you practice your basics on that tempo. So that means you can decrease or you can increase the tempo, and accordingly you'll be able to clearly hear tuck 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 tuck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, or however you, but this will really make your counting really good, and it will help you to actually understand the rhythm. And now when you're playing with different tempo, because different songs in the parties are gonna be with different tempo, then you will be able to change Yeah, you'll not become monotonous with it. So this will already make your foundation of your basic way more stronger. Later what you will be adding will become way more easier. Okay, now continuing this part to the next part, which is the fifth part after tempo, is continuity. Okay, so that means first you're getting the basic, number one. Yeah, number two was that you're practicing at home, because not only in the studios you'll make the flow, you'll get the default system in you. Yeah, so you do that thing. Third, you're aiming to move freely, like you move in your real usual life. Yeah, you're not restricted, you're just becoming free with this movement. Now continuing to that one, we are going to the fourth point, which is the tempo. Now if you're missing your rhythm, or you're not understanding the music, your tempo will not only help you to catch that counting 1 2 3 4, but also you can play with different speed, yeah, to change your motions with it, which will make you even more stronger with your basic. Now after this fourth, we are moving to the fifth one, where is continuity. This is a big tip for the beginners. So example, if you're moving now, for example, if you're doing bachata, you're going 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 tap, 1 2 3 tap, 5 6 7 tap. Now what happens in the beginner, because we are confused, we stop, and we are like when we are confused, the biggest tip, you keep continuing the basic. Why it's important? It's not only important because you're moving, because you're doing the basic, sorry, because 1 2 3 4, one of the biggest like physics, physics about it is that the science about it is that you keep on moving, so your engine is kind of moving. You see, your movement is like this, rather than you're like stable on both of your leg, because now there is no movement, you're in a static position. So now to move you from that position will take way more extra force or pressure, or for yourself to decide it, than when you're already, your legs are moving on the spot. Now pam 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 ha, pam 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 ha. Now when you're given any direction, you'll be way more faster to move, and you'll feel more lighter on your feet than feeling rigid. So in the beginning, even if your leader or follower has stopped, when you're in the beginners going to the intermediate, never stop moving your legs on the rhythm, yeah, on the timing. That means even if you're on the spot in the beginning, just keep on moving, and anyways your basic is getting way more stronger, your default is becoming way more stronger in your body, that you don't have to actually ever think about it later. Okay, so it's a big one. Okay, now we are moving to the next one. Okay, so the next point, now when we are in the fifth one, now like we are now feeling good about the basic. Okay, by this time you'll feel like you get those basic steps done. Okay, now let's little bit move forward to that, so that now we are getting more ready for the party and feeling good about ourselves. So that's why the next point is about being mindful. Okay, it's like being a little bit aware of your body. So now you're moving the basic. What it typically means, if I will break it down to simple form, you start being aware more of your hands, yeah, more of your legs. So you open them, you expand them, you feel the dimensions, you feel the range. So you start eating a little bit space around with your body. Yeah, this will make you more free, more moving, and that will help you later. This is the fundamental which is building up later for your stylings. Yeah, because you will have a lot of hand movements, like hand movements or your straight linings, and all this thing will come into play later, which will make you look way more good. But before that, because right now you're in the beginning phase of it, you start expanding your hands and legs, you start feeling them, you being mindful about your movements, about your joints, about your neck, about your hands, about your hips, about your legs, and so on. Okay, so, and also another thing, people think just practice by just repeating. Repetition will make you better. Repeating, yes, it makes us better, doesn't matter it's good or bad, but mindful repetition, yeah, intentional repetition makes it way more effective. So that's our idea over here. Yeah, so that means you're not only just doing it physically pattern, as a physical mechanical pattern, but also being aware of it, what's happening, why this, oh, this feels like this, and it will give you much more depth of it and much more fun out of it, even without thinking it. Okay, also being mindful, to break it down, actually the best part later will be when actually you are not putting the mind at all. So don't confuse the mindfulness as actually putting complete mind later into it, because later your aim is to almost not think at all and let it happen, to have the bliss, and you are in the moment with the partner and with the music. Everything else will vanish for you. Okay, so continuing from this part, now it comes to the next one. So now by this time you are moving freely, you're open, you're doing the basic good. Now to get it better, another tip, which is the number 7 tip, is model a master. Yeah, so the teacher that who is teaching you, the leader or the follower, so you try to model one person, or it can be, in the beginning it's better to do one person, otherwise you'll confuse yourself with more information, or some information can be even contradictory. Now when you're modeling a person, you're not only learning from them what they're teaching, but you're trying to like observe how they're moving, you know, how their gesture is, how the leader is moving, how he's leading, how is his postures, how is his stance on the ground. For the follower, how maybe she is moving, you know, how her gestures are, how her grace are, how her linings are, how her finishings are, extensions are. So in this way, you will be learning a lot of things just by modeling your teacher, and that will automatically pull you, inspire you, motivate you, at the same time take you to a better picture than what you already are. Okay, now moving to the next one. Now when you're doing all this thing, the 8th point will be record yourself. Yeah, so after a few times, start recording yourself. Okay, and remember, you don't have to, it's a very big tip. Yeah, you don't need a partner to practice all these things in the basic. You actually can do most of these things at home. So that means you not practicing just by the sake of you don't have a partner will be a big excuse. Yeah, to do all this thing clear, to get the flow, you will not need the partner, which will come to the next point, which is the 9th point. So you see, I said the 8th point is making your video so that you can see your progress, you can see how you're moving, and you will know much more about you, and you will be able to improve yourself in the corrections, and that will follow up to the next one, the 9th point, which is the parties. Yeah, now at the end it's very important that we also go to the parties. You are going to the parties because it's important that you are at the end, this social dances, all of this are partnering dance, so you'll have to at the end practice with the partners. Now I said with the partners. Yeah, that means if you're only practicing with one person, it's good, anyways you can learn with that. But when you're changing partners, like in the party, when you'll have to dance with a lot of different people, you get more brushed because you have to adjust with different people, you know, according to the different level, different person, different energy, different music, and that will make your movements and your feeling and your flow way more smoother. So at the end, and that's also the goal of why we are learning, isn't it so? Yeah, because the best part about social dancing is coming together, dancing with each other without any barrier of language, race, religion, tribe, country, nothing else. At the end, we are just talking one language, which is of dancing and sharing the love of music, energy, vibe, and socialness with each other. So that's all, guys. Keep in mind all these 9 points that will really make your learning way faster. Some of them are physical and some of them are metaphysical. They are mixed together, which will make your learning process, I can say, you like at least 5 to 10 times even faster if you really do this thing. Otherwise, it's not about the time you'll spend, that 2 to 5 years. You can see that some people if they are clean slate, taking that both of them are like completely clean. Yeah, they didn't had any base of anything in dancing or fitness or something like that. Even if they start like that with the same kind of time going to the same classes, in 2 years some people learns a lot, which some people haven't learned even in 6 to 8 years, even after going to the same classes, because there where this all things comes in. Some of them, they are playing at home, they're enjoying the music more, they're feeling more, they're opening more, expanding more, letting themselves free more, and all these things sums up together irrespective of the time put it into it. Okay, so I'll leave you guys with this thought. There'll be much more videos will be coming up about like how to even get better with the advance, how to make your stylings better, what kind of clothes you should wear, even if you're performing, what can be the performing tips, and so on. And if you want to know more, feel free to write me anytime. Okay guys, so that's all from me today. See you guys in the next one. Yeah, and as I always say, keep growing, keep flowing.